Finally, a film that proves sometimes the loneliest people at Christmas are the most attractive ones.
Have you written that down?
Yep.
That's your tagline?
Yeah, that's what I've done.
You know, it's glad because a lot of films, nowadays just filled with ugly people.
Oh, I know.
I know.
Who wants to watch them struggle?
No. I can see that in the mirror constantly. Whereas this is the film goes, what if you got to look at some pretty people for a bit? See how they live their lives.
It's a Christmas I'll never experience. Watch Love Actually, and I'm like, I relate to none of this.
No, I relate to the one where like she goes to like the hospice person. No, I'll cut that bit. My name's Oscar.
My name's Carl, and who would watch this?
Welcome to Who Would Watch This, the podcast where we watch a film, chat about the film, then try and figure out who would watch this.
Today, we're talking about Falling for Christmas, which currently has a 2.6 on Letterboxd, a 5.5 on IMDb, and a 56% on Rotten Tomatoes. Oscar, what's the plot?
In the days leading up to Christmas, a young, newly engaged heiress experiences a skiing accident.
Oh no.
After being diagnosed with amnesia, she finds herself in the care of a handsome lodge owner and his daughter.
What a sell.
What a sell.
What an easy sell.
I'm already in. I'm already in.
Everybody's watching this movie at the moment. We're diving in on it too.
Yeah.
I think we should go back in time to before we'd seen the film and try to predict who we thought should watch it.
Yes.
It's another Christmas one.
It's Lindsay Lohan. She's back with vengeance. It's not. We're watching this as it drops. Carl.
The most aggressive Lindsay Lohan film yet.
Oh yeah,
She's back. It's
aggressive.
God, it's the Lohanessence. Yeah.
Yeah. That works.
Yeah,
Good.
okay, good. I don't know what to expect. I don't think I've even seen a trailer. I've seen the poster, and I've just seen articles like Lindsay Lohan's coming back.
Yeah.
It looks like it's probably just going to be another Hallmark film. I feel like Netflix has stolen the Christmas Hallmark from Hallmark.
Yeah.
So
And they're shitting themselves because that's all they make. They make Hallmark movies, and Netflix is like, we'll take the Hallmark movies.
Well, because what Netflix is doing is being like, we're going to make the same quality of film, but we're going to get somebody slightly more famous.
Yeah.
Like, we'll get Lindsay Lohan or Vanessa Hudgens or, like, Queen Latifah or something.
Yeah, you give a shit. It's like, oh, damn.
Yeah, someone slightly more talented to sell some not great dialogue.
Yeah, and you're like, I'm in.
I don't know what the plot is. Do you have any idea what the plot is?
No, I don't know. We're looking at the poster now.
It says
there's two little cable cars. You know, maybe there's like a daring heist. Who knows?
You think it's set in the snow?
Yeah, I think so.
Fair
Have a look at the poster right now. These two cable cars are pretty mysterious.
What are they? Who put them up? Okay, well, it's obviously clearly set in the snow then.
Yeah, we've nailed it. This Christmas movie is set in the snow.
This is
This is why you come to the podcast. Big snow lovers, you gotta check out this movie.
We're pretty much just detectives
Yeah.
at this point. Do you reckon he is going to be like Christmas personified? Like she falls in love with the spirit of Christmas?
Oh, like what? like a Christmas Scrooge. Just like, what if Scrooge started making out with those ghosts? What if Scrooge is like, oh, my past self? Oh my god.
Well, it's not going to be like somebody's fallen over. Surely it's like falling for as in falling in love. Like maybe she's falling back in love with Christmas.
Maybe she falls out of his cable cars, you know?
Could you imagine?
That's the whole movie. Just them two, both in the cable cars, falling out of it.
Oh, it's an hour and a half of them falling?
Yeah.
Oh,
for Christmas.
Yeah.
Who would watch this? If you're like an inspector of safety of cable cars, and constantly you're on your high horse about how dangerous they are, you're gonna love this film.
She falls out of a cable car and falls in love with a cable car inspector.
Oh, that man.
You fucked it up, and now I can't walk. And he's like, man, what if we fell in love, though?
Look at this man. Does he look like he works with the safety of cable cars?
Actually, is that the guy from Glee? He's got a beard.
He is from Glee.
It is the guy from Glee.
His name's Chord Overstreet. Is he making up a name? Is it IMDb making up his name as I'm reading it?
That's clearly a man that was in witness protection and accidentally got famous.
the witness protection was like, we don't need to care about this one. It's fine. You auditioned for Glee?
Oh my God. People are trying to hunt you down and kill you. No, it's fine. I signed my name under Chord Overstreet. Oscar, who do you think this movie's going to be for? I'm hoping it's for us.
I think it's for the people that want to hunt Chord down and they're going, great, now we know his location.
It's for people evading their tax. Surely it's what? Lindsay Lohan fans? It's probably what it's banking on.
Yes.
And it's probably for fans of the classic shitty Hallmark Channel films.
And we're and yeah.
And us.
And us.
Hopefully. I would love to love this film.
Yeah.
So we'll see how
Or
we
give
go.
us a good podcast out of it.
Yeah.
See you next week. Maybe we just fumble the bag. Carl.
Not Christmas personified.
No.
It was about falling.
Yeah, I mean,
who would have thought?
they nailed them. Normally, like with these Hallmark movies, it's like a biscuit of Christmas, and you're like, there's no biscuits in this. Whereas they've nailed this title. She does.
She
fall.
literally falls. I was disappointed she didn't fall in love with the spirit of Christmas. I've built up my own movie in my head. So
A week of just.
Oh, I was like, this movie's a world of possibilities, and it's like, what if she fell?
At Christmas. Fell for Christmas? No, at Christmas.
I was like, oh, cool.
She takes a fall. She hurts herself.
It's doing the bare minimum of the title. They've clearly made the title and worked backwards. So, in the least
Falling
creative
for
way.
Christmas sounds great. All right, what metaphors gonna do? What about literal?
Like, I thought maybe if he was like an angel that had fallen who personified Christmas.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Well, there's a lot of like misdirections of like maybe this could be magical, and the film's like no.
Oh, the movie's constantly like, is magic real? Oh, ambiguity. We're a clever little film, aren't we? We're the Birdman of our generation. Like,
Do we get into it?
let's jump on in, shall we?
Lindsay's a rich girl.
Oh,
A Paris Hilton-esque?
and she's stunning. Yeah, I was getting Hilton Kardashian sort of vibes. She begins every morning with a pretty sickly breakfast.
Yeah.
A spoonful of caviar and a bottle of champagne. She should be a wreck every morning.
Imagine being hungover and someone gives you not even a meal and more champagne.
Fish eggs. The last thing you want is caviar's fish eggs, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Who was the first person that ate fish eggs and then was like, that should be the most expensive
That should
thing?
be $1 billion.
Yeah.
Does
that
it taste
should be-
good?
No. But it's just bragging
It's
rights.
hard to get.
It's like if somebody woke. It's like if fishes that were rich just ate an embryo in the morning, like it's just in Shark Tale. Just like we've got to.
When Oscar gets all that money, he's like, I'm eating dead embryos for breakfast. I've already come my way.
You think you can slay the shark? Yeah. Anyway, she wakes up in the morning. She's pampered. She doesn't make her bed. She doesn't take her. She sleeps with like those eye things on, so
eye
everything's
mask?
dark. Yeah. She spends too long in them. Like I thought she should probably take them off earlier in her life.
No, but I don't think there's no servant to take it off her. It shows that she can't do anything. It's a clever film. But she's very pampered. That's what we want to establish. She's like an heiress to a hotel chain. She's also in love. Dating. Tad.
Not Tag or Ted, but Tad.
I like this. Well,
the name gag?
no,
Or...
not the name gag.
Him?
I kind of wish the film didn't address the name.
Yeah.
Because I was like, Tag, and then the film's like, Tag. I'm like, oh, it's my bit.
Yeah.
How dare they?
I wrote it wrong the entire time. The friends I was with corrected me at the end of the film.
Well, how are you spelling it?
So I was calling him Tag the entire time. I
so
thought
you-
Tad was the gag, and his name was Tag.
No. His name is Tad.
His name is Tad. I thought it was Tag.
Classic Tag.
A classic who's on Tag and who's on Tad. You know, Abbott and Costello could never.
Who are you? You 90? What reference is that?
Everyone loves that. Who's on first? No, what's on second? No, that's on third. It's the height of
Are you my
comedy.
grandpa? What's going on?
You don't find that bit funny?
Give me a.
What about when Abbott and
Show me
Costello
a Vine. Show me a Vine. Are they on Vine?
Surely, do you reckon there's a TikTok of a 11-year-old doing a TikTok dance to the gag of what's on first?
I think
who's on
so.
second?
I think so.
Because if not, I'll do it.
It's a new trend. The kids are the Gen Z kids are eating it up. They love it. Abbott and Costello.
Oh, they've cancelled Dave Chappelle and they're all in on Abbott and Costello now.
Oh, they get cancelled in a heartbeat. They'll be done. We're coming for you.
Met Frankenstein, their own version of Jack and the Beanstalk. Get out of here. Next, we're coming for Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis.
Anyway, so Yeah, Tad is an influencer.
He's us,
He's us.
just with money
Yeah.
and looks.
Yeah. So not really us. What we aspire to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if I was given $1,000, that's the plastic surgery I would try for.
You think that's all we need? $1,000?
No, I would just get my earlobe done.
I would just change my name to Tad.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so we also get to see this resort. Her dad owns the resort.
Yes.
He owns a big chain of them. This resort obviously has funded the film because I've never seen so many exterior shots.
So many exterior shots. I was thinking the same thing because they show us like the rooftop spa
Like 40 times.
40 times.
With the same 3 people trapped in it when it's snowing. They spend the whole movie in it for 5 days. They must be terrified.
Oh, it's so wrinkly.
Waving their hands in the air.
Help! Help!
The spa won't let us out. It's taking us in. I can't even use my legs anymore. And they're like, aren't they happy?
Oh my god, wouldn't you want to stay at this resort?
Don't you want it? Were you sold on the spa? Because at the beginning, I was like, oh, that spa's cool. And the more they showed it, the more I hated it.
The more I hate it, one, it's like jutting out. It's not like there were multiple spas. It's quite a large roof, and they've pushed the spa out so you can see it. It's like an infinity pool, but they can only afford a spa.
Yeah, but it's a hot, exposed spa, no roof over the top. So if you're in it while it's snowing, your top half must just be having a fucking relapse.
Icy, yeah.
With the snow coming
Your body's
down.
like, we are boiling, and yet we have hypothermia. What the fuck are you doing?
This is the spa boy every morning. There's 3 more dead guests up there. Their bottle's boiled like a peach, and their top half is frozen like a pea. Like
it's like a Freddo, like white and brown. But also, I mean, it's so close to the roof, you can just chuck them off. It's just a dead pile of half-cooked, half-frozen guests at the
There's
bottom.
a shredder right down there, and they turn into the fake snow machine that helps douse the fields.
Anyway, our love interest, Jake, goes up to the father, Mr. What's his name?
He's from the Bold and... I found that he's from the Bold and the Beautiful. He's been in 1,300 episodes.
1,300 episodes.
Yeah. Who does he play in the Bold and the Beautiful?
Dominic Marone.
Let's call him Dominic Marone then.
Love it. Dominic Marone is having a conversation with Jake. Now, Jake is the love interest. Jake is like my in, which is, shitty and like homegrown. We need you to invest in us so we can keep him going. And the dad's like, I wouldn't look at your in even. Oh, you're disgusting. And just spits in his
You're a
face.
filthy little blonde slut from downtown.
Yeah.
And I'm a rich man that's about to go skiing.
I'm a blonde slut too.
Yeah. So he was like, I'll tell you what, I'll listen to you. But you gotta beat me down the hill. We now get privy to some pretty great green screen.
Yeah.
Green screen that would make the creator of green screen roll in his grave. Because this looks shocking.
And it's crazy because he's not dead. So,
Oh, I should
he's
hope.
bought a grave, rolled in it, and gone, all right, that was a good bit. Dusts himself off and goes back to his house and family.
So we find out that he's let the dad win. So we know he's a good guy.
Oh, this film, I feel like it's trying to disguise... Like, this, Jake, might be one of the nicest people in the world, to the point where it's getting suspicious.
Oh.
I don't trust his
Neither.
intentions. Every turn, he does a good deed.
He does so many good deeds. I thought potentially he was the devil.
Yeah.
And at the end, it was going to be a pretty big reveal about evil in our society. You thought you were falling for Christmas? He's the devil.
Falling to hell, that's what it is. You idiot. Yeah, he does so many nice things. Yeah, he lets the dad win. He walks back to the town, and as he's walking back from his lodge, he's like, hey man, thanks for helping me with my snowmobile. You fix it for free. He's like, yeah, that's just what I do. And then a woman walks past, like, you're the nicest man in the world. You saved me from my cancer. It's like, that love is yours.
Another woman's like, oh, you went down on me last night for hours. Hey, that's just what I do.
Yeah.
Just picks the pubes out and keeps on walking.
Keeps on walking.
His only flaw is that he intensely mismanages his money. I've never seen a man so recklessly spend an entire film and then go, where's it all gone?
Oh my god. He's like, our business is failing. What's that, Miguel? You need $5,000 for a snowmobile? Here, take 10.
Absolutely. They're constantly walking around town being like, thanks for that $30 million donation you gave me last week and every week since the beginning of time. And he's like, you're welcome. I hope you're spending it wisely. And they're like, I'm not. It's going into that competitor over there.
$30 million a week? I could shit gold. I could literally make someone make me shit gold for $300 million a week.
Don't worry, I've got notes in terms of how he can save the business without the help of the town.
Here's the thing, I feel like, just don't be as giving.
So easy.
So easy.
So easy.
Me.
I've got other notes. Fire your mother-in-law. She's not doing anything for the hotel. And second, spending your money on Lindsay Lohan the entire film. Just get rid of it. You know what else you can do? Stop spoiling your brat of a child. She's asking so much from you, you absolutely do not need to do it. Fourthly, or thirdly, you clearly have a lot of money because there's so many guests constantly at your place. He's like, we have no guests, and yet it's busy all the time. Constantly extras walking around.
I'll jump on that as well. He's like, we don't have enough money. There's some exterior shots, the light budget, and the decorations that this inn has.
He's clearly...
Billions. Billions of dollars have been spent on the props to make it look Christmassy.
This is the most intensely Christmassy place I've ever seen, that surely people would go there here anyway. Like, they would just be like, oh, it's like the most it's like when people go to like the German Christmas markets.
Yeah.
They're going for the intense Christmas experience. This is sickeningly Christmas. I loved it and despised it. There is a Christmas tree in every single hotel room. All of them. Who would spend that money?
To walk through receptions like a forest, you gotta get through all the jingle jangles.
It's like when he's like, oh, we don't have enough money for a cleaner. Who put up all the fucking Christmas trees then? You could have spent that time cleaning.
What do you mean they didn't have? Wait, they didn't have. Oh, that's right. We didn't have a cleaner. That's the bare minimum for a hotel.
Oh, it is.
Imagine that you're walking into like the most Christmassy saccharine room, and then you walk in like, oh, there's shit on the sheets.
Oh, he's constantly going, how can we compete with Airbnb? By having a cleaner. It's so simple. You're the worst business manager ever.
It's got a room full of reindeers, like they've been shitting for days. But oh god, it adds to the atmos.
He's so recklessly spending. I thought it was disgusting. Anyway, I'm so far ahead of myself.
We're so far ahead.
The mother-in-law takes her granddaughter to a Christmas tree.
Yes.
Where she is allowed to write down a wish. Oh. And who should be there? But the most unsettling extra I've ever seen in a film. It's Santa himself, but hobo-ish.
Oh, do not get me started on this. The film wants to, one, it's a Christmas movie. So whenever a white bearded man is in the background, is like, maybe I'll be really kind to kids. You're like, all right, that's Santa. The film's like, I don't think you got it. So it holds on this guy to the point that now I'm thinking this is the villain.
Oh, absolutely. Where I was like, oh, is that the Grinch?
He does a wry smile. He's like, oh.
He's looking at this girl like she is a meal.
He's licking his little white bearded lips.
Like he's the wolf in Goldilocks or something. No, in Red White Riding Hood. He's the red.
He's the red. Yeah. Red. He's wearing red. Clever.
So
yeah,
anyway,
I'm not happy with the Santa at all.
I hate it.
Because the whole film, I'm like, oh, it's gonna be Santa, and the film's like, what if it wasn't? I went, why the fuck was he there then?
Oh, it's definitely Santa, but the most disgustingly depicted on screen Santa ever. As if to say there's multiple Santas everywhere at all times, creating a wish for the occasional child. Like he waited for this girl to come. He skipped so many other people's wishes and was like, you're the one that's going to get your wish. She doesn't even wish for the dad to stop having money troubles. She's just like, I hope he falls in love.
I hope he gets a fuck you once in a while. And Santa was like, I could do that. I could probably do it. I know, I'll make a woman brain dead for a bit. Oh. See if that works.
So he basically is like, and we'll put out a little bit of magic, and this is what tips Lindsay Lohan off of a hill.
Let's get into Lindsay Lohan. So Tad's taken her on a romantic skiing walk thing.
Yeah, they're going to do an Instagram shoot or something.
Yes,
yeah?
That's his whole thing. Like Tad's an influencer. Yeah. The film's
influencers don't make this much money, do they?
I feel like
he's not on TikTok or anything. He just seems to be an Instagram influencer, but he's got a limo. He's got
I
cocktails.
feel like it's like a 40-year-old man's vision of an influencer. It's like, I don't know what they do, but they have a lot of money.
His
I
phone
think they're
kept going off, and he was like, "Oh, I'm trending."
Yeah. He's been
Hell
cancelled.
yeah. Sorry, Lindsay, I've got an issue. I just said the N-word online. I'm trending again.
Oh god, the sponsors are pulling out. Let's get this ring and get some good PR.
He's like, don't worry. I've just decided to turn from being liberal to a Republican. So we'll change the fan base.
Changing the narrative.
We'll be
Changing
fine.
the narrative.
I'm
Get
going
ahead
on
of it.
Alex Jones next week. We'll be okay.
I've got opinions, Lindsay. I've got to say them.
Like, I don't know. Should we all be allowed to marry?
It's he's doing it to like spite people. It's like, I don't think they should get married. But you know what?
We should get married.
A straight should. Her Lindsay, she's like, what are you doing?
Why have you decided to do this? Because I've got to capitalize, Lindsay.
Yeah.
I can't be an influencer and be cancelled for too long. Nike's pulling out. Nike.
Yeah, so he proposes with a very big ring. This ring's pretty big.
Huge.
Both in size and in ring diameter. Because there's a bit in the film that I feel like that's what... Because originally, at the start of the film, she's like, it's too big in size.
Yeah.
But by the end of the film, she's like, it's too big in money and size. So...
She really
Two
grew.
meanings. Clever film.
She really grew.
Yeah.
So she's getting blown down the hill by Santa's farts.
Yeah, it is.
And
It is weird that Santa's one wish for the child was like, I'm gonna almost murder 2 people.
Oh god, it's definitely one of those things that had she died, you maybe think maybe the film might have gone the exact same way. He just weekends at Bernie's her body. Like the Santa was like, it's a 50-50, she survives or dies.
Yeah.
But either way, that dad's gonna fall in love with a body out in the woods.
I've cursed him essentially.
Yeah.
Regardless, that body is his to take. He owns that body now. That's all I can really do wish-wise.
That's legally.
I can just take away human rights. That's all I can really do with my Santa powers.
As Santa Claus, all he can do is kill. Kill and maim.
How do you think he got the elves on side? He's like, I will fuck. You know, my one, I'll kill you.
Yeah.
You work for me forever, or I'll end your life, or make you hurt.
There's very little he can do with a stiff breeze, which is the one magic power he has. He's honestly that girl that's in Black Adam.
Just wind girl.
Wind Woman. Wind Woman versus Santa Claus in Falling for Christmas.
Put that, make $1 billion.
Oh my god, this would be the hierarchy of the Hallmark Christmas Netflix films about to change. Wind Woman's looking for love. So they take a tumble.
Yeah.
What did you think of their tumble?
I thought give the stunt actors a raise because I think they threw people down the mountain.
Oh, absolutely. I think they meant to throw a ragdoll down and threw a human instead. And the look on their face, pure panic.
It's weird they've gone like green screen for most other things, but they were like, but for the fall we're gonna go practical. Yeah, they proper like fall. I was impressed, but also like it wasn't shot very nice. It was like it was like someone was falling down a mountain and they just had an iPhone footage like. Might as well get it on set.
It's like they went to do it with visual effects and then saw somebody falling.
Yeah,
they were like, get that.
Get that.
Run.
Can we CGI a wig onto that man falling to his death? Yes. That's Lindsay up there.
Who would have thought? So she's knocked unconscious, probably should be dead when she hits that tree.
Yeah.
We don't know what's happened to Tad. He's very likely dead.
Oh, 100%.
So we should have 2 casualties. Lo and behold, Chord.
Yeah, he's not called Jake. We're calling him Chord.
Chord.
What a ridiculous name. I'm sorry to this actor. Where's it from?
Yeah, is that a...
Maybe we're making fun of
I know,
somebody.
I'm hoping it's not like a national
No,
delicacy.
that's American. He's from Nashville, Tennessee. Wasn't it?
Okay, Nashville did that to Chord. Chord's on his ski. He rocks up and he's like... Oh no, I'm gonna go save that woman. The people he's carrying behind him are like, oh, God, I hope that's not a dead woman.
God, but also, what are these? Who are these people?
I don't know. They look like they're in that movie Smile because they won't stop.
Yeah,
They look like
they're quite eerie, aren't
Yeah,
they?
they are.
I've got questions for them, really.
Oh, I do too. Is this their honeymoon? Do they know Chord?
Do they have emotions? What is their life outside of this? Because they're just smiling. I found out they're guests. midway through the film
yeah.
that threw me. I thought they were Chord's friends.
When they're outside of the house, do they cease to exist?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think they're empty vessels in life and just drifting through for Chord's amusement.
Chord has imagined the town around him. And Santa's just like,
What a
if it was
lame
real?
imagination. He's imagined he's in debt.
His whole life, his imagination has been, what if I spent recklessly? And then reasons come into it for some reason, and it's like, it's a reality now. You need to pay back the bank. So the hospital doesn't want to keep her.
No,
she's a bitch.
I love this. The hospital's pretty much like surely someone that's been hit and in the cold. Lindsay kind of like sits up like, "Hey, let me out," and the nurse is like, "Oh,
restrain her."
I don't want to deal with this for days. You found her. Take her with you. She's your legal property now. The hospital will not take care of her."
Why doesn't he recognize her from when he spilt cocoa on her?
Throughout the film, he's always like, "I recognize her, but not enough."
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
I still think that's a plot hole.
Yeah.
But, I'll give this movie what it's going for, which is falling. Just constant falling.
Quality.
Oh!
There's a lot of I feel like this film, I don't know why, but it's like, you could really, we were like real critics, we could be very nasty, but some
Real critics? Excuse you!
we're cowards on the internet. Let's not beat around the bush.
I'm gonna throw out some words. Personified.
Oh man, the denouement. It was good or bad.
The red herring. That's what they're fishing for.
When the metaphors were on, when the similes and the metaphors come into this film, and the cinematography is good, I think.
The lighting was exquisite. Natural lighting, the entire film. Who would have thought?
When they're outside, there's natural lighting.
Chloe Zhao make this film? Huh?
Is this a Chloe
Academy
Zhao
Award
venture?
Academy Award winner Chloe. Did she capture all this? Was everything improv? This is one of those things where just Lindsay Lohan had the script, and these are all people that just happen to work there and be nomads in the land of Canada.
I take it back. We nailed the critic thing.
Yeah,
we are real
We are
critics.
critics. My name is Seaskull.
And I'm also Seaskull.
Together we're Ski-Skull, Ski-Skull. 2 thumbs up. So she's got amnesia. Why doesn't she remember that she's like a bitch?
I don't really know, because like the film's like, all right, she remembers everything except her life.
Yeah.
But she still is just a bitch.
She's still picky.
Yeah.
She still doesn't want to do things.
Yeah.
Like, it's just odd that they're like...
It's weird the choices they made. They're like, we need her to be... Pretty much, they're like, this character is so irredeemable, the only way to like fix her is brain damage. However, we're going to be very selective with the brain damage.
Yeah.
She is still a bitch, so she needs to learn, but like enough of a clean slate that she wouldn't just be like, no, I'm not doing this. It's quite cruel.
It is. This is a very mean film.
Yeah.
We've got...
Essentially, they're like, even if like you were in a mind state, you wouldn't have learned. You wouldn't have been good. You would have gone back to your nice life.
Santa had to hurt you so that you could grow. What does that say about your upbringing? So we get, I would say, a hand. So I just want to point out that there is the reason this movie is ever so slightly, in my opinion, a cut above a general Hallmark film.
Yeah,
I think Lindsay Lohan has some funny little bits.
she does.
She's still got it. In
Yeah.
my opinion, like if this was a better script, she'd still be able to. Like I thought she would be great in like a Desperate Housewives or like a White Lotus or something. Like I think she could rebound well into one of those like Riley funny. We're making fun of it because this movie's kind of spoofy a bit, but not.
Yeah, it's kind of making fun of the rich stuff, and that kind of gets dropped quite quickly. Tad has the do we get into Tad's subplot?
Well, so I quite like as soon as Tad gets up, he just starts like vlogging his death.
Yeah.
I thought that was a bit funny. I also quite like the scene where she starts singing and he's like, "You're pitchy." And there's also a really good bit.
I think they're quite good together.
Yeah, it's sort of a shame they're separated
Yeah.
because I think that they were better together, and I
Yeah.
think Tad isn't as enjoyable on his own.
No.
So I think that's a sort of a shame that they can't play off each other more.
Yeah.
But I do also like the bit she asked for like she's like, my hair's wet. Can I have a hairdryer? And it cuts and it's like perfectly curled. Like this.
But like she just places down.
Yeah,
Like,
sits it down.
I'm done with that.
There was the same within the pitchy scene where he changes the song and she just immediately turns and looks out the window longingly. Like there's bits where they're going, this is a Hallmark film.
Yeah, there's so many bits where they're like, hey, we need to take a pause and have an emotional beat.
Yeah.
And the beat is not there.
Oh,
so
it's
it's just
funny.
them kind of weirdly looking around. Their instructions are like, look good at, you like him.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It was like a director that had never worked. Like they're just going like, well, why don't you, in film school, we learned you should have a motive?
Look poignant.
Have you seen
Kung Fu Panda 2? Great scene.
Be less animated.
Yeah.
But more
Pandery.
and less.
Crickety?
But more.
A bit more Seth Rogen-y, though.
But less.
Angelina Jolie.
But more.
Dustin Hoffman-esque.
But less.
Shy. King Shy. What's his name?
You've got Gary Oldman. You had a whole cast of people.
I
to
did have a
pull
whole
from.
cast, but I wanted to do Kang Shy. What's the
In the second one?
the first one?
Oh, I don't know.
No, the
Shah
villain.
Khan.
Shah Khan.
No, that's not it. That's Jungle Book.
Yeah.
We'll get off this bit.
We'll get off this a bit.
Yeah. So Tad has his whole different. He has his own little subplot, and I think we'll just knock it out.
Let's start this park here because I have a lot of questions.
This is the film.
Yeah.
And they cut away.
The film's like, what if we had a grueling, potentially, what if we had the lighthouse in our film? What if we had that on the back burner and we were like, we'll focus on Lindsay.
Tad's
dropped.
vlogging into his phone. I just want to fuck a steak.
Yeah.
If I had a steak here, I'd fuck it.
And then he stumbles upon like an ice fishing tent and we get introduced to Ralph.
Yeah.
Ralph's like a hobo-esque man. He's quite, very wilderness. He just
doesn't have a phone.
Lives off the land, and I feel like, oh, well, Tad's he's gonna
Lives
learn
off the land illegally.
Yeah.
We find out.
Oh, quite. Well, we get into Ralph's backstory, and I feel like we should really
He's the true spirit of Chris. I thought maybe the switcheroo was going to be Ralph as Santa.
Oh, that would be good. We turn out Ralph's a monster. It seems Ralph's a criminal. I think.
Oh well, Ralph is Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah.
We find out
100%.
he escaped and lives here now.
Yeah.
And Tad's gonna soften his heart.
Oh my god. But yeah, so Tad doesn't really learn a lesson, even though you think living with like this old man in the ice for the whole film.
I potentially think he does learn something, because there is a thing at the end that's a bit odd.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if the character of Tad is meant to be like bi-curious or
I
not.
think he's meant to be. I think he because we'll just say it. We'll just finish the Tad story. He gets with a guy who's like Lindsay Lohan's makeup artist.
So, but it was one of those things where I was like, did they have like a Brokeback Mountain-esque adventure trying to get to Lindsay that awakened his love in men? And then so at the end, that's why he's like, Terry, you come with me now.
Which is a great story. Imagine that, the person that's awakened your gay side.
Falling for Ralph.
Full over Ralph.
Should have been,
The Oscar nom of the year. But yeah, imagine that. Ralph's like, put him on a whole journey, then right at the end, he returns to civilization and dumps Ralph.
Ralph should be like, there's a reason I exiled myself. And
Yeah.
that's because I thought society wouldn't accept me. And Tag's like, I feel the same in the way that I have to pretend to be a Republican online.
Ralph's like, it happens to the best of us.
Why do you think
I'm
I'm out here? I'm cancelled too.
I'm cancelled too.
I used to be a vlogger just like you.
I used to build canoes in a shed. Kids loved it. And then they found out my big Nazi ties. It was just a passion project, okay? I just like it.
I used to have one of those YouTube channels which was calming music to me building a hut over 9 years. I had one video and I didn't finish it. People love a time lapse though.
It had 40 billion views. I made all the money on YouTube that year. All of it.
All of it. Remember YouTube Rewind? It was all me.
It was just the video
was just
game.
Ralph.
It was just it was Ralph Rewinded.
And still the comments were, where's PewDiePie?
Yeah, I don't really. What do you think about this?
It's weird, and it should be funnier.
Yeah.
Is the thing that I thought. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's prime for comedy, and they don't do anything with
No.
it. But I do think it's weird that by the end of the movie, he's like, "I want to go out with Terry,"
Yeah.
because I mean, the thing is, they don't explain Terry's sexuality either.
No.
So I think, is this like a really modern and progressive film that's just like, you don't need to know their sexualities. Maybe Tad is just who he is. So there it is.
Yeah.
So maybe this is maybe we should be, patting this movie on the back for doing that.
I think we should. Tad and Ralph eat beans, and Ralph is a murderer, we find out, who's been let off by the cops. I really dislike this. At the end, he's in handcuffs, Ralph, and the cop's like, "It's Christmas, let him go." Has this man kidnapped and murdered people before, and this town's just okay with it?
He was hunting on land that wasn't his.
Hunting human. Hunting.
Is that what they say?
Hunting human. Oh, they imply it, Carl. They imply it. Ralph's murdered, okay? I don't know why you're so, nonchalant.
I think it'd be fun if Tad returned with only one leg.
It's like a Lighthouse, Brokeback Mountain, 127 Days Adventure, and in the background's Lindsay.
Yeah, she's just jamming on the, woo!
Anyway, that's Tad.
Tad's done.
Tad's done.
He's not getting talked about again.
We're back to Lindsay.
Yeah, so we're back to Lindsay. She's settling in, and you know what? We're meant to believe that Jake is a nice guy, but you know what he's gonna, you know what he's gonna do? You know what I should do to this woman? Put her to work.
Oh my god, it's I feel like the reason the film did so much effort to make him look like a good guy, because he pretty much just what if this woman was mine?
Yeah,
and
he
she
then
did all my
bullies her
cleaning.
the rest of the film.
Yeah, he's just she's gonna do my cooking and she's gonna do my cleaning. I'm gonna teach her that, so then I don't have to do it. He's a complete sexist piece of shit.
So she can't cook, she can't clean, she doesn't know how to make a bed. I feel like there's a fun bit that she's just getting eaten by a fitted blanket she can't fit on. That's mildly humorous.
Yep.
Good physical comedy.
Put that on the Netflix poster.
Yeah,
that's... Mildly humorous.
Occasionally okay. So they've put her to work as the housekeeper. She can't clean a toilet. I wish they'd committed to just covering her in poop, but they don't. She just gets covered in a little bit of clean water. So,
who do you think was the person whose job is to kind of squirt, essentially piss at someone in a toilet? That's a pretty...
I assume they just got chawed. It's just chawed on the other side.
Chawed was I'll step in. They were like, no,
we've got somebody that can do this. We've got a runner or something. Somebody that's gonna...
No, I'll piss on Lindsay. They're like, whoa, it's just putting the little squirt.
He's like...
Chawed needs a wee-wee. Chawed's gonna get a wee-wee.
He only speaks in the third person.
His name's Jordan Overstreet. Of course, that man needs to tell his name as much as possible.
I need a wee-wee, or my name isn't Jord Overstreet. Why does he keep saying that? We're not even doing a scene like that.
So Lindsay's put to work, and she kind of learns it's okay to cook and clean.
Yeah. So
growth.
It's kind of funny that she puts in a whole bottle of soap into a washing machine and it overflows with bubbles, right?
Yeah.
And he is just angry. I don't need this right now.
Yeah.
Pretty calmly but stern.
Yeah.
And it ruins her. She breaks immediately. And he's just to himself, I don't need this right now. Yeah. And she just takes it all on herself.
She's like, this is all me.
Yeah. And to me, I'm just like, Lindsay, take a step back. This isn't all... You have amnesia and he's put you to work.
Hear me out. She is not aware of this, though. Yeah. He's already, immediately gaslit her. She's just like, hey, do all my cooking and clean. She's like, I don't know how to do that. Should be bedridden. He's like, I'll get so angry at myself if you fail.
Technically, when she's, sleeping at night, that little girl should be bringing a mirror to her mouth to see whether she's breathing still. Because she's hit her head that bad. She's probably still got internal bleeding or something.
Of course.
She fell off a cliff.
The hospital was like, we don't want to deal with her. We will do no extra checks.
It's Christmas. We don't need this right now.
Here's a bunch of pills. Good luck. Take 14 a day.
It's Christmas, so here's red and green pills. Cycle through them as you will.
Half these are blue. We don't have that many red and green pills. It's not very Christmassy.
So she runs out crying to who I think is the real star of this movie.
Hit me.
Balthazar the horse.
Oh.
This
why
is
he
a horse.
Here? Why is he here? I don't get it. Because like midway through the film, I thought they were setting up because like not Santa but Santa has a sled next to him. So you're like, oh, reindeers or something? I don't know.
Yeah.
But we get this horse to establish that maybe he can...
Balthazar is a star. This is who I think she has the best chemistry with, is Balthazar. I think he works great. That also shows that sometimes horses are support for people. I also think it's...
to what?
Sorry?
Horses are only support for people.
That's
the only role horses have in our society.
Well,
Dare I say, horses are never the main star.
In Planet of the Apes, they're used as...
support for the monkeys.
Or the chimpanzees. I was really impressed with this horse's behavior. I thought the horse looked good. Sounded great.
This is where we differ. I thought he was very unprofessional. I've heard a lot of background stories that he was quite unprofessional on set.
No, I know that you've heard... People accuse Balthazar of a lot of horseplay, but that's just who he is. And I think that's okay. A bit of a George Clooney doing pranks, if you will, on set. I think this horse is a real professional. He is from, what Spirit? Spirit? This Balthazar was Spirit in that animated film.
Listen,
you wouldn't know it.
Because he's an aged up star, I'll say it right now. Dare I say, he's past his prime, he should be shot. Send him to the glue factory.
Leave Balthazar alone. He's finally got a starring role in a proper film. He's not just doing voiceover, as they usually get him for.
He always plays the imp in, like, animated films. He's such a... I don't know why he's typecast to that.
He was really upset he lost out that role to a zebra in racing stripes. He was like, just paint it on me. You know I'm good for it. You know I could do the role.
He's taking a role away from a zebra, though, and he got in a little hot water. Set his career back a while.
Zebras had Madagascar. Like, they don't need more. They don't need more. Have you also seen Sydney has the Madagascar musical on at the moment?
Really?
Who's making that? And should we get tickets?
Dare I say, should we get sponsored by them? Because I'll push it.
I'll
sounds
absolutely
great.
Push it.
Wait, you have
the voice behind Alex is revolutionary.
Wait, stop. You have... you've written a bit? You thought you could... That is such... Imagine how you had the loops to get like, all right, I'll talk about the horse, bring in the zebra, and then bring up Madagascar to get to the musical.
What do we think the reviews are saying for Madagascar, the musical? I'm not opposed to going.
How much are tickets?
Tickets are... If we go tonight, do you want mezzanine or stall seats?
Stool seats?
Stall.
Oh, wait a minute, thinking a little stool. I don't know what those are. I guess...
oh my god, $130 a ticket? I paid $160 for Dua Lipa and they're gonna take me to a musical of a DreamWorks film?
Well, hang on, is Ben Stiller on stage?
Sorry, he
Is
plays
Ross
all of
from
them. It's a one-man show. Do you want to get up out of your seat and move it out of the zoo and onto the stage? Ben Zilla plays every single character in Madagascar musical.
Okay, let's get into Lindsay. So, Tad's done that. She's done the cleaning. Now we get kind of the film where she's just kind of learning about the family. Would you say that? Essentially, Chord's wife died.
Yeah.
And the daughter is
I assume
sad.
because he couldn't pay for the medical bills because he'd paid for everyone else's medical bills. Thanks for saving my wife. Shame you couldn't save your own.
She's had a toothache and you were like, no, we'll put all the money towards that.
No, we'll pay the $60,000 on dental for her. My wife can wait to get the AIDS, cancer, and foot and mouth disease removed from her body.
But if your wife doesn't get gold plate teeth...
What's she gonna do?
What's she gonna do?
How's the tooth fairy gonna compete?
No.
I need to help fund the dentist as well. It's just me funding this town. It's a town of one.
I mean, we meet the mayor. The mayor's like, this man has literally funded this entire city. So let's give him a lot of...
The mayor is insane. Like, the turning on of the Christmas tree involves fireworks and a candy cane detonation. Like, it's huge. They must be spending like, what do you reckon, $60,000 to $80,000 on like this unveiling of the Christmas tree?
I think so. And it seems like the town's poor because they're literally only getting handouts from Chord.
Well, is not they've got like the Hamilton shoe in. Is
Yes.
that where everybody's going and it's killing the rest of the town?
Oh man, it doesn't really say. Cause I guess it's down the. Yeah, maybe that's what's going on. But then like, Chord's like goes up to Lindsay's dad's like, "Do you want to invest?" And he's like, "No, I'm fine. We just got a hotel."
It's a weird thing because he's gonna end up needing to rely on the town to pay for his bills, right? But if he ends up with Lindsay anyway, she's rich.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, there's no real. Why does the town even need to pay? Because I'm sure she's gonna be like, well, just invest my money.
Well, here's the thing, and we'll jump ahead because essentially, like the main, like, not main, just a sort of subplot is that Lindsay's like, "Should we do a fundraiser?" And he's like, "No, I would rather end it all than take charity from these hideous people." Even like his main like flaw is like pride. He's like Breaking Bad. It's just like, I will sell meth before I take a cent from the man I mowed his lawn for weeks. But yeah, they all give him money. But then wouldn't you be a bit pissed if you just given this man a lot of money because he's struggling, and then he marries a billionaire's daughter?
I know. So basically, their plan is to throw a shitty little party and hope everybody just pays to be there, I guess, right? Everybody shows up 7 p.m. Christmas Eve for a last-minute party, which is in itself ridiculous. But I thought it was mean that Jake called out a beautiful man named Kenny.
Oh my god, let's talk about this. This is the cruelest part of the whole thing. Imagine that. He's like, "I need to get charitable donations. Hey guys, just a little bit of ha-ha jokes. Make sure you guys don't eat the gingerbread men. They're just for decoration." Kenny, maybe don't eat those. Don't be a little piggy this time, okay?
I see the crumbs around your mouth. It was stuck together with glue. Your insides are going to hurt. And I can't afford medical bills anymore. So what are you going to fucking do, Kenny?
This is the cruel... Because
This is when the mayor steps up and goes, "Leave Kenny alone, Jake."
He's had enough.
Okay? Nobody wants to be bullied by a man named Chord.
It makes them feel smaller than insured. Now, Kenny, the person they've hired for Kenny, it's quite, like... Just like quite... Weird car.
A star.
He's a star.
Must have been the same agent as Balthazar, because this guy is pulling out all the stops. He doesn't even have dialogue, but facially, I would not be surprised if they thought Balthazar was so good in the scene before they used him as Kenny.
Get Kenny a star. Get his own Netflix show.
Oh my god, Kenny and Balthazar Netflix show. They solve crimes together in outer space, but one of them is on the run.
Oh my
Cowboy Bebop with Balthazar and Kenny.
Christmas themed? No.
Yes, the entire time. Out in space, nobody can not Christmas.
That's the thing
That
about
was a tagline.
Oh, yuck.
What do you do if you're Kenny in this situation? Really,
Oh,
do you go home and
I
you're like...
cry. You cry. You go. You look in the mirror, and you buy yourself a gingerbread house, and you just look at it, and you flush it down the toilet, and go, "I don't need that." And the fact they said that, I don't need it. That short cunt can go kill himself. I don't need this. And you know what he does? He gets the gingerbread house out of the toilet.
Oh, and he eats it anyway.
He eats
that soggy G bread.
God, he just sucks
And
it
Chord's
down.
there being like, "Is this where I pee on him? Is this where I get to do it?" It's one of those things that if in a real life situation, Kenny's probably going back to his wife, and it's just like, and she's like, "Hey, how was the night? Sorry I couldn't go with you." And he's like, "Really weird. I got called out at the beginning of the night for eating the gingerbread houses, like I'd done that before, and I don't know if I want to be friends with Jake anymore."
It was weird. We all ate them last. I don't think I ate them a lot. And the wife's just like, "Oh, Kenny,
you know you have a problem. We've talked about this before." He's like, "I don't." And she's like, "Go to the pantry." Go to the pantry. And he opens up that pantry. Look how many already made gingerbread houses they are. She's like, "You've been doing this since July." Don't tell me you have a problem when Jake's trying to help you.
That was an intervention. He didn't need the money. He got everyone there in the town on Christmas Eve to stop your little addiction. Every one of these little gingerbread houses has a little bite out of it. Because you can't help yourself, can you?
What, are you going to cry, Kenny? You going to cry in front of me, in front of your son, in front of your daughter, in front of your newborn?
In front of that gingerbread man child you built?
What are you doing with your salty tears? No, Kenny, don't make another gingerbread house with them. Don't add salt and sugar and flour to them. What are you doing, Kenny?
I'm adding caramel, salt and caramel mix. Salt caramel blend.
Don't you ice that brick. Don't you join them together and douse it in sugar like it's snow. You know you've got a problem. Most of these are moldy.
Is that ornate jelly beans? Oh, God. Fuck. Oh, a little marshmallow snowman. Adorable.
Why won't you stop? Why is there a snowman outside of the Burj Khalifa that you've built in gingerbread? Why is there a little snowman out of the Wiz Khalifa you've built in gingerbread? You've got a problem, Kenny, and I'm gonna leave you.
For that nice Jake man. I'm gonna leave it
God,
short.
I hope he's not taken. And when I get there, I'm gonna get him out of debt. And we'll be beautiful together. His kid could be friends with the three of our kids, and you'll be dead in here, covered in gingerbread.
We'll put you in that coffin you built out of gingerbread.
This is Kenny. Wow, this is eye-opening.
Maybe I'll stop. And that's how easy addiction is to stop. Send us an email at Oscar.
What a scene.
Yeah.
Let's discuss. I thought my voice work was good, but the writing could have been better.
I think, dare I say, the premise could have been fixed. The plot hole's really...
I'm going to call my agent. I'm going to fire him for whoever Balthazar's with. Hello.
Right, do we have anything... What do you want to talk about?
I don't know, it's getting to an end. We really wasted our time on that bit. Let's hope that works in retrospect when we go back and edit.
God, I hope so. Anything else? Okay, yeah. So essentially, Jake and Lindsay, they don't fall in love, but then she remembers Tad
runs in.
takes her.
Yeah.
They gank her out there. But Lindsay's gone back to her usual life. She's not the same, you know? She's had the life of a poor person. And I don't think the film's done a good enough reason for me to think that this life's better. I think the caviar champagne sounds great.
It's a disgusting way to wake up in the morning. Imagine on an empty stomach eating caviar. It's just, no wonder she enjoys the other life. She gets to eat a meal.
Yeah, they're like, we cooked breakfast. Here's some bacon and eggs. Like, oh, what about the fish eggs? Where are those? Just like, we don't have
What
those.
about pig eggs? They lay eggs?
That's a pigeon.
What about just lava? Have we got any, lava?
Any lava, Lindsay? Yeah, Dad makes me eat it. Just tastes awful.
Weird. That's why Mum faked her death and left us.
No, she got fed lava.
Yeah. Everything's back to normal. Tad's hair is disgusting here. It's so waxed and gelled down, weirdly curled.
Yeah. Oh, that's my thing. Like, you say he learns something. I don't think he kind of goes right back to his ways.
Well, I think the funny ending would be is he comes back and he's like a man's man that's like, I don't need to be a vlogger or anything anymore.
Yeah.
I enjoyed living off the grid.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
So it's like, but it's funny because instead he learned nothing and she breaks up with him on Christmas Day.
Yeah. And he's like, you broke up with me Christmas Day? And then he's like, yeah, I met that man for a week. Half of it was during a brain damage, but hey.
The other time he just put me to work for slavery.
Yeah. But he did buy me a snow globe, so... Hey,
that's the thing.
She is bored. It feels...
It's true. He needs to stop spending his money. But it also made me think if the only reason Santa conjured the whole thing was to make a sale.
Listen, it's a long con, but if these guys full amnesia, I'm going to have a pretty hefty setup. This is quite a big markup. Yeah. You know, if this snow globe will be 40, something for 60.
He's like only 1 in 10 by the snow globe because the other 9 died on the hill. She hits her head, but
hey, 8 sales is pretty good for me.
He's like, this is what funds the elves. He gets back to the elves and is like, all right, we got $40. Who needs to be fed tonight?
They were like, some man with a gingerbread addiction ate all our food. That's like our bread and butter. That's what elves eat. And he just ate it all.
Who, is it Kenny? I worry about him. His daughter's wish was for Kenny to stop eating gingerbread houses.
Couldn't give that, though. The wind could solve that, could it?
All the windows were closed. How was the wind going to get in?
You can just see... You can just see the wind trying to blow against the window, like, damn it.
You can see the hand to the wind doing like a thinking motion with his hand on a chin, just like, how are we going to get into this house?
Just looks at like, I'm just gonna say I did it. I'm gonna say I fixed it.
Santa's like, so Wind, did you fix the issue? Just nods. He doesn't speak but nods.
Oh yeah, I know that. Yeah. What do you do? Winded, you know?
It's a lot easier when you just ask me to push a woman down a hill.
I could do that. You want me to stop addiction? I don't know how to do that.
Who knew the wind was doing Santa's dirty work? Anyway. So it's now like a dash to the airport or something, I guess.
don't know, but it's like in the with the horse and the sled.
Who cares? They get there, everything's fine. They all get together. Tad ends up with Terry.
Yeah. Lindsay says no to her dad for having like a shitty job.
Yep.
And Dad's like, well, I'm pretty proud of myself. My one wish was for you to grow up and not bother me. So I've done my
Did he
thing.
write that down as well?
Yeah.
The Wind was like, oh god, two birds, one stone, am I right?
I was going to make up for that gingerbread addiction guy I left on the porch.
Maybe we'll just kill Kenny's family instead.
Yeah.
Swerves a car.
The Wind's like, all I can do is kill. All I can do is kill.
There's a stirring thriller drama up for the Oscar about the Wind kill. It's basically the happening. It's the happening.
There's like 8 Oscar-winning films in this film. Like there's like, what happens if 2 men were stuck in the winter? What if? Oh god.
This is the best film we've ever done.
Yeah.
What a classic. Anyway, I do. Sorry, just because they park the sleigh, right?
Yeah.
And they get out and they find Lindsay, and she's like, "Yeah, I love you, and I'll stay with you."
Yeah.
And then the daughter runs in, and I'm like, "What?" Just the abandoned Balthazar out there on the main road on Christmas Day. He's probably like a deer. They will come back and he's a run over. He was taken up by the same car that took out fucking Terry's kids. Like, be careful with Balthazar.
Yeah, he's a good horse.
Star. He's a star. What can we say? And then how does the movie end? Ends on a shot of that spa with those people still trapped in it.
Yeah, and it pretty much like hovers on the like logo. It's like, this film was paid by this hotel. Go here. It's funny as well because like the main reason why their hotel is saved is because Lindsay Lohan has been staying at their hotel. And everyone's like, oh, did Lindsay Lohan stay here? I want to stay here too, which is ironic because that's how the film got funded as well. Everyone's like, I'll stay at that hotel that Lindsay Lohan shot that movie at.
I like the idea that they get no reservations because all the mother-in-law's doing is like, oh my god, please hold. Oh my god, please hold. And they get back.
Hanging up.
They get back and she's like, I lost all of them. I don't know what happened.
I don't know how to take someone off hold.
You should have left me in charge. I spent all of my money on getting that outfit for Lindsay, and there's no money anymore. You should have fired me long ago. I'm quite useless.
Ooh. It ends, and then we get would you call them bloopers?
I don't know if I'd call them bloopers as much as I would call them unfunnies.
Oh yeah, that's a good way to do it. There's some...
You know, there's bloopers where they're like, wow, that's actually really funny and quick-witted of somebody to do. It's like, you know, the bloopers are better when it's like, these are improv bits that didn't fit the film.
Yeah.
But they kept going,
100%.
right?
Or like a really serious film to give you a bit of levity. Just like, oh, that's fun.
But the ones that you sort of got in like, say, Santa Claus 3 and this one is... Didn't the cast have fun making it?
Yeah.
And it's like meant to be infectious without it actually having like a blooper. Like nobody's like, wow, that was a really well-timed thing for you to say in that moment of something going
stuff
wrong.
going, aren't we having fun though? Never like,
that's
we are.
all it is.
It also shows, I feel like there was a lot of movie that wasn't shown. Like it feels like they've edited down quite a few. There was like scenes and stuff. I was like, that's weird. Like there's a lot more stuff with the weird friends that were empty in the eyes.
Oh, yeah. They must have been shocked when they weren't in the film.
Yeah, they were like, God, we look like just empty vessels. What the fuck were we?
We're soulless, empty vessels.
We had a fun, we had a 20-minute bit, we had a good bit. oh well. Terry's in the back of the bloopers just eating gingerbread houses. Remember that bit from earlier? Classic.
No. What are you referring to? I have no recollection of anything you're talking about right now.
Carl, who would watch Falling for Christmas?
Look, I think in the end it really is a Hallmark film that isn't great, but slightly better than the regular one. So it's simply for Hallmark fans.
Yeah.
That's it. On a serious note, it's just for them. Even if you're a Lindsay Lohan fan, I don't think she's good in it, but it's not like that script's really funny and witty and stuff for her to do. I think she sells the occasional bit better than any other actress might. But yeah. I think this is a pretty stale, generic Hallmark film with like a good bit every like 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
I will say, I think this film, and we can't really do it on the podcast, but watching it, there's a lot of funny little visual gags, more visual screw-ups. I think you touched on the hairbrush thing. There's a lot of just odd choices we can't really explain on this podcast. There was one bit where, like, at the start, he gets handed a coffee. You know, like the bit that's like, oh, the coffee cup's never full. The lid just pops off. I just think there's just so many little moments like that. There's so many awkward editing choices and pauses that I do think it's a really fun movie to watch with friends. You are right. Like, it is a bad Hallmark movie. I definitely say it's one of the ones to check out with your family. I think
absolutely. I think if you have like never seen a Hallmark film or are looking for one this year, this is probably like the cream of that crop.
Yeah.
Like, that is, Hallmark's never good, but this is just slightly better.
100%.
Also, whoever went out with their drone and did the color correction, all the landscape shots are stunning.
Really?
I
didn't really notice.
Did you not notice how... I mean, I just assumed the hotel shot them and were like, use these so you can show off the hotel.
Yeah.
It's like the same thing that like funds the White Lotus.
Yeah. But I think... Oh, actually, the bigger question is, do you think there's going to be like a rotation? Do you think people are going to seek this out every year at Christmas?
No, but I do think Lindsay Lohan's going to end up in a Christmas movie every year. Like, this will be the Princess Switch, but not like sequels.
Gotcha.
You know, like...
It's going to be just an esque thing, a Christmas romance thing.
Yeah, like I think she'll do a romance.
Yeah.
Christmas, if this is big. And it seems to be like big enough. Like, it's probably not an expensive film.
No.
Like, it would have been shot indoors in summer in a warehouse, a lot of it. Like,
the rest is at the like location, and it's just Lindsay Lohan, really. That's a famous actor. Oh, sorry, Chord's worth $4 billion.
Gotta get that Glee money. He must still be making money from like those recordings when somebody listens to like a song he's done, right?
Yeah, well, like, have you ever seen like because I don't know, because it was big. The biggest thing was iTunes. Like, that's where they made most of their money. So I don't know whether, I guess people are listening on Spotify still, right?
What do you think? Because he would actually have a Spotify, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
What do you think he has on Spotify?
Chord Overstreet. Those Glee recordings get so many downloads.
He has, oh my god, 5.2 million monthly listeners.
Wow.
One of his songs has, he's his own guy. Like, one of his songs has nearly 600 million plays. Yeah. Like,
is he like a...
Yeah, so he's got his own stuff that isn't Glee.
Oh, wow.
All right, Oscar, what are we reviewing next week?
Next week, Carl, we're jumping into a childhood classic. Jumping on a train and crashing it right down into Earth. That's right, it's the Polar Express, which people love, which I disliked as a child, and forced myself to watch as an adult, so I'm really bitter.
Yep, I'm the same. I don't get the like for it. It's weird that people have nostalgia for non-blinking eyes and voice acting that doesn't match the mouth. So... I'm keen to recheck it out.
Yeah, maybe we were both wrong. Find out next week.
Wouldn't it be fun if we liked it? I'm so keen for us to... I love whenever we like a movie by surprise.
Yeah.
It makes me happy.
One of these ones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It happens oh so rarely.
It does. And it's still fun to mock it, but at the end it's like, that was great though.
Yeah.
Big tick.
But yeah, like the good fun.
Yeah.
Good fun for all the fun. Thank you.